In most of my videos, I tell you, you need to communicate. You need to talk clearly with your staff, with your team. You need to be involved. You need to ask them questions. But in this video, I'm sharing 5 things that you should not share with your staff. Welcome to the channel, Leadership with Mike. On this channel, I help managers become more confident leaders, and I do this with no nonsense sense, if that makes any sense. I am working on a brand new program, which is the No Nonsense Leadership Bootcamp. In this bootcamp, it's 30 days with 30 videos coming to you to help you understand fundamentals of management, the fundamentals of leadership. Because I have a way of saying things, I have a way of doing things, and you are going to be absolutely different because you're you. But when we understand the fundamentals, we, being different people, can still get the same results. So in order to be notified when this is ready for you to get, grab my free PDF of 14 things that all managers must know before they start managing to get your name on the list. Like I said in the beginning, open and honest communication with our team. That's key. That's how we build trust. That's how we build respect. But we need to know where to draw the line. One of the things that you do not want to talk about, in my opinion, is your salary. Now, if you're in a position where everybody gets paid the same, then it's no big secret. But when you're hired, and I know that in the interwebs, everybody's trying to get transparency on pay, which is fine when everybody's being transparent. But I don't want you being the first one being transparent, because here's what's going to happen. Your colleagues, other leaders, other managers are going to say, why is he getting paid so much? He doesn't even know the job. Why does she get paid that much? She can barely manage to make her lunch. These are things that other people are going to say. These are things that your peers might think. Or they're going to think the flip side. They're going to say, oh my God, why are they getting paid so little? They're so getting screwed. And of course, if you're the one getting screwed, you'd love to know and be able to renegotiate your salary. It's not always the case. So if I'm you, I'm keeping my salary under wraps. I'm not talking about it. We'll talk about a lot of other things, but we're not talking about what I actually get paid. The next thing that you might want to keep to yourself is your medical history. It seems in today's world, people are very comfortable asking you if you've had certain shots. And I'm not sure how I feel about that one way or another. But when you have a medical history, I think, in my opinion, it is best to keep that to yourself, to share it with, obviously, family, physicians, or those close to you. It will not serve you well in the workplace, in the sense that I feel everybody wants to say, this is a safe place. This is a safe place to share. Bullshit. Because when somebody knows that you have a medical condition, if they can use it against you, they will. And I hate thinking of the world this way, but this is how I feel. If there's a promotion coming up, let's say that you're going through a depression and you've shared that. Well, the other candidate might be talking about that and planting seeds as to how you're not mentally stable for the promotion. Could you imagine? Or if you have other illnesses, maybe the company will hinder your growth because they don't want to be liable. And I mean, I understand it, I guess. So for me, medical history, I'm just going to keep that to myself. I'm going to share that with my loved ones and my physicians. For most of you, your colleagues aren't your loved ones. Some of you, I'm not here to judge. The next thing that you are not going to want to share at work is complaints about your workload. The last thing you want to do is be walking through the office saying, oh my God, I can't believe I have to do this. I have to do this. I can't talk to you right now. I'm so busy because nobody wants to hear it, first of all. Second of all, when you start venting about your workload, it opens the door for your team to say, you know what? My workload's too much. My workload's bothering me. I don't have time for this, that, and the other thing. And now all of a sudden, it's your problem because you've took the liberty to say that you're working too much and you don't have time for anything. Now your staff is going to say the same thing, and it's your responsibility to help them out, to redistribute the workload, or to tell them, sorry, suck it up, this is what you have to do, yet you've been crying about your workload. So keep that close to the chest. This one, I think it should go without saying, but don't talk about your staff. If you have opinions, especially negative opinions on a staff member, you do not want to let on at all that there could be some friction, that there could be an issue. The reason being is, one, we don't want gossip in the workplace. That means we can't contribute to gossip in the workplace. Two, if the person knows that you're talking about them behind their back, they can use that with HR. They can go to HR and say, Mike's saying this. I didn't get the promotion because Mike looks at me this way, that way, it's biased, it's unfair. Now we've got a whole bunch of stuff that we should not be required to deal with. The other thing is that if you're venting to one of your colleagues and you're talking bad about someone, and you're like, shh, but don't say anything. Yeah, no problem. But what does that person think you say behind their back? Because when I hear people bad-mouthing somebody else, I question, what do they say about me? I mean, I'm sure it's only good things, but they could be having a different view than I would think. And this one, I mean, for as long as I've known, this is a no-no at work. Don't talk politics, don't talk religion. The thing is, and for the longest time when I was younger, I didn't understand. I'm like, what's the big deal? This is what I think. But now, having been in some conversations that just never ended and never ended well, I understand that if people don't share the same political views as me, if people don't have the same religious views as me, I'm not changing them. I'm not able to get them to convert and come to my side, nor are they able to get me to convert and go to their side. It might just be bringing a whole bunch of tension. There's only a handful of people where I've said, we can talk about this because I like to believe that I'm fairly open-minded and I'm willing to listen. Doesn't mean I'm going to change my mind, but I am willing to listen, but not a lot of people are. So there's a handful of people that I've worked with where I'm like, yes, we can have this discussion because I know that it won't turn personal. It won't be an argument. It's more of a conversation and an opportunity for both of us to learn, even though we're not changing our opinions, but it's the opportunity that's great. But for most people, this is not going to turn into a positive conversation. This is going to lead to a lot of friction. So it's just something that I think we just keep it out of work. Now, with that said, you also need to understand that sometimes your past can hinder your future. And to understand more about what that means and how it can affect your growth, you need to watch this video right here because that's exactly what I talk about. So get your KFE. I'll see you there.